potential, moving Florence forward, stronger together, better together. Better together because we are stronger together, which accelerates our ability to continue moving Florence forward because we have so much potential. And I'm going to say that again, especially for our city people who were not strongly on mic. So much potential, moving Florence forward, stronger together, better together. Better together because we are stronger together, which accelerates our moving Florence forward because we have so much potential. This has been a steady message and a consistent message that have told us, all of our citizens. First of all, thank you today for being here. And our regular Florence City Council meeting has been moved to November the 18th in order to honor our veterans upon yesterday, November the 11th, 2024. Thank you to the City of Florence Veteran Committee who sponsored a wonderful event yesterday at the Florence Center. And also the City of Florence hosted its first luncheon for the veterans who are working here with the City of Florence. This was held on November the 8th at our water treatment plant. I would personally like to again thank our veterans for all that they do to serve and protect us so that as a nation we can continue to be strong, that we can continue to work to make our land a better place, but also making us a better ally. So to all the veterans and to their family, thank you for your dedication and your support. So today I will address our citizens for the last time as your mayor. I want to thank you for electing me and making me a part of history for the City of Florence, being the first mayor to be black and also a female. We open doors for the future generations to know that they can serve as the mayor of Florence, as well as being able to bring down barriers that separate us. It should be our continuous effort to continue to work together to be strong, to let everyone know that there's room at the table for everyone to have a voice. I think about the fact that Florence was incorporated in 1890, and we have been Florence strong ever since. I had every faith that City of Florence will continue to be strong, continue to move forward. I believe that each administration builds upon the last. So I would like to thank all the former mayors and councils that came before me. It is because of the foundation and the breaks that they've laid that has given us the ability to do the things that we have done this day. As we continue to move Florence forward, I want to assure you that we have economic projects that are on the book already that you will be hearing about announcement within the next few weeks and months. And I will say that as a result of the city, the county, and the state government working together so well throughout these past few years. I've even heard the statement that this is the best that the city and the county has ever worked together. So I'm thankful to be a part of that. When it comes to economic development, I would like to thank our Florence Economic Development Partnership who has led the way to bring new industry here. Just a few examples. I am thankful to have been at the table for the AESC project, to be a voice, to support and tell them why our community is a place for them to be at. So I'm looking forward to them as they're steadily bringing things out of the ground and will be opening within the next year with full production within the next year and a half. And also now on 327 with the training center, which has been also coming out the ground. We truly have an investment that can take our city into the future. We can now call ourselves the economic hub of Florence County. Not only that, when you think about the fact that we will have the new Hugh Letterman Behavioral Health Building, which will be opening on Dargan Street, that adds to our medical ability, making us now also the medical hub, because we can take care of our citizens fully, economically, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. We have, with Florence, our Francis Marion University, a medical school which will be coming to us at the end of Chevy Street. So we are now also an educational hub that can educate your child from nursery through a 4-year college. And let's not forget, we have Florence Darlington Tech there. And long and short, if you want to be in the medical field, we're now going to be that piece that can offer you that complete medical education. So we're now the medical educational hub of the PD. So Florence, I want you to know, as we are growing and growing economically, we have to be sure that we can continue to supply the things our citizens need. That means that we need to continue to provide homes. And you know, we have over 3,500 permitted already through the City of Florence. I would like to state that the City of Florence, we are so proactive, we do have a down payment assistance program. So any citizens who's trying to seek to own a home, please come see the City of Florence. If you qualify, you can qualify for over $20,000 down payment assistance. And with our community development block grant areas, we have 3 catalytic areas that the city has actually been fostering, and that is the Vista Place development, Old Carver Station, and also Historical Pine. We have planted the seeds for new homes to be built there, not for rentals, but for home ownership, because home ownership is what stabilizes a community. And that is our goal, to get our community development block grants back to where they were, with more homeowners, which actually stabilizes a community, and children who are in homes that are being by ownership have actually been shown to do better. So that's a part of our goal. We want to continue to invest in our parks and recreation, but because, of course, if you're living here, we want you to have a fun place to be able to live and play as well. It is my hope that the City Council will also pass an animal ordinance that we have on the agenda that will be next Monday. It's an ordinance to address the issue of dangerous animals. I know you all are aware that there was an incident when we had some exotic type animals that was housed in a highly populated apartment complex in Florence. And we had to address that issue, but there was not an ordinance for the city or the state to address that. We have that now. Because of the meeting being moved from yesterday to next week, I won't be a part of that vote, but I am a part of that voice that allowed us to get that. And I will thank our city manager for working diligently to get it put together. He had some delays, but it's done. It was my hope that we would have gotten it done, and if we had to do an emergency meeting to get it passed, but I'm confident that the City Council will vote to have this ordinance on the book. And also, as I'm leaving office today, this will be my last time to be on this council, because no, I'm not planning to run again, y'all. But I want everyone to realize today, when I leave office, you create a historical moment when I came into office, but you will also be creating another historical moment. There will be no one on this council who physically lives in the historical West Florence. No one who lives in the historical North Florence area, and no one who lives in the historical East Florence area sitting on this council. All of the representative will be from predominantly the West Florence and the newer development South Florence area. So history, again, no voice at the table for historical West Florence, North Florence, or East Florence. These are our community development block grant areas. District 1 has a council member who's very active in the community development block grant area and has a strong presence in the development of the community development block grant areas. I want you to remember that, because in order for us to be stronger together and to be better together, we have to be able to sit together to talk about the needs. And when you are stronger and better together, you listen. And when you listen, you work together to resolve the issues of the city, to make the city strong for everyone. One of the best acts which promoted moving Florence forward was the development of our rental registry. Cities that are growing and are progressive has a rental registry. And by doing this, it helps to protect the tenants, especially those in areas that has been disenfranchised. It is my hope that as I leave from this council, that this council maintain the rental registry. I pray and hope that they do not diminish or dismantle the protection that protects so many who live in the community development block grants areas. This protects citizens from especially slumlords, owners and landlords who do what is right don't have to worry. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rental registry continue to develop. So Florence, as I get ready to depart from you, I'm not going to cover all the economic projects that was developed as a part of my working with others to have a partnership. I will say unto you, take a look at the Florence Morning News. Thank you to Ms. Taylor, who did a well-developed article. Florence, we are an excellent city. We are a powerful city, but we are at our strongest and our best when everyone has a seat at the table. Power comes when we have the ability to listen to each other. And I'll never forget one of the things that my son told me. He played football at West Florence High School. His coach told them, you are only as strong as your weakest link. So Florence, we can do a lot of things that will make us look good. And I hear a lot of people say about looking. For me, it's not just looking good. It's about doing good. Because when you do good and you help others, when you bring up the least of thee, we are now powerful and strong. So Florence, I will say to you now, we are that medical hub. We are that transportation hub. We are the educational hub. But I don't want you to remember, long and short, we do have so much potential. Yes, we are moving Florence forward. Yes, we are stronger together. Yes, we are better together. But that together means that we're at a place in history that we're once again at a standstill and we're going backwards. So as we move forward and look at our future elections, especially with the new at-large seat that will be open, be sure to look at the candidates, look at what they stand for, but look for someone who can also be a voice for our disenfranchised community, that we've finally got to a place that we're stabilizing these communities, putting new homes there, bringing people home. But more importantly, we have done such a good job that a lot of the new homes that we have actually built, people are coming from outside of Florence to live here. So as your mayor, I thank you. And I encourage you to remember that we are better together because we're stronger together, which causes us to be able to accelerate moving Florence forward because we have so much potential. And I've had the question asked, Mayor, who do I call when you leave office? Can I call you? I told him, please call our city manager because I have faith in our city staff. Our city staff operates our city 24/7. We have staff who's dedicated to this city. So Florence, yes, we are Florence strong. And as your mayor, I thank you for allowing me to serve. But also when I leave office, I won't leave service because I'm a servant leader. I was a servant and a leader before taking on the title in 2010 of Florence City Councilwoman, being the first female to be elected from District 1. Then in 2020, you gave me the honor of serving as your mayor, but also breaking another glass ceiling as being the first black and the first female. Florence, we have set some great standards. Don't give up now. Don't sit down now. We've made too much progress to go backwards. And I will encourage you to call the new elected mayor in our city council, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable for representing us, to do us right for the whole of Florence, not for a select group or area, but the whole of Florence, because our words are, we are stronger and better together. And that should include everyone. Once again, I would like to thank our media who came here today. And I want to say to all of our citizens, take care of yourselves because we need you for us to continue to grow. Because Florence, we are Florence strong. And we've had some milestones that we have accomplished. But guess what? I spoke at Francis Marion a few years back and I made the statement, are we there yet? We're not there yet. There's more to be done. But we can and we will get it done. Thank you. And at this time, if there are any questions or comment, I'm open. Yes.
I think you may have mentioned this during your remarks, but do you have any intentions to run for any office, including mayor again?
You know, I have been asked that. Even at the primary, I have been asked from seats here Right now, I'm in what I call my rest and restoration period. I have served the city for 14 years. That's a long time. So at this point, I do not have any plans to run. My goal right now is to enjoy my family, to love my new granddaughter, which is our first grandchild. But also, I do have a brother who's ill, and I'm a nurse, and so I will be assisting him as well. So for me right now, I don't have any plans to run because I've served the city, and I believe I've served it well without a spot or a wrinkle, without any kind of, I'll say, any kind of confusion. I believe I've served well. And so I will leave that legacy. But I will never say never because I'm a woman of God, and I trust when God calls me to do something, I will do it. But right now, I don't see it.
You said that you felt the city was going backwards. Can you explain, or did I misinterpret?
No, when I made the statement about going backwards, when it comes to representation, we did single member districts because we wanted a member from all areas of Florence. But what's happening now, when I step down, there will be no one on this council who lives in the areas of the community development block grant area. No one. And so for me, when I look at how historically we've pushed to have that occur, that's a movement backwards. So for me, economically, we're going forward, we're doing development, but we're not taking the whole of Florence together with representation. So if we're going to be stronger together and better together, we need to deliberately make sure that we have representation from all of Florence. Because I dare to say, and I will boldly say, if it was not during the time period when I served with the previous administration, I think that we had one of the best administration there was. But also I served myself and also Councilman Ed Robinson, who passed, but then Councilwoman Pat Gibson-Highmore, and all of us each lived in the district areas, District 1 and District 2. We physically lived there. And the statement has been said that those who are closest to the problems are closest to the solution. So when you do not have someone who lives in the things that needs to be addressed, you can't get a true picture. So for me, that is why I say we're going backwards. We will not have anyone who lives is the key word in those areas. Yes.
You started by kind of thanking those who came before you. You obviously are coming before Mayor-elect Florence, who's set to be sworn in later. What have your conversations been like with her in terms of transitioning, and do you have any advice for her as she takes office?
Well, I called Mayor-elect after the primary and spoke with her then. She's not reached out for any advice or anything since then. So I would say that she has a collective group of council members from the city and council who you saw when she was running, who are advising her. And she also has the advice from our city manager.
You have a very ill brother. You mentioned that to us, and you plan to be there with him this afternoon. Do you think you're going to go to the inauguration or swearing in?
I would not be present. I was not formally invited, and I believe that because of that, I would not ever interject myself into any situation that I have not been cordially, essentially invited to. I believe that's a part of us being able to move forward. So no, in order for them to move forward, I will always not, intercede in any kind of way. So my afternoon will be spent this afternoon with visiting and doing what my brother needs, and then spending the time with my new granddaughter.
And just the dangerous ordinance, dangerous animal ordinance. This is all, is it being retweaked, or is it something that's derived from the snake situation?
Well, we have an animal ordinance, but it really did not address what we can define as the dangerous. So it would now, and even the state did not have it. So this is giving clear language to be able to address situation where we know that there are animals that can be poisonous, and also if you have so many number of them. So that gives us some say-so in the type of animal environment that you create within a community, because this occurred in an apartment complex where you have people right there next door to you. So if some of those snakes would have gotten out and people not known, We don't know what the situation was. So this is really something that will expand our animal ordinance to cover such situations. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, as a community activist and a clinical social worker, I have clients in the LGBTQIA community reaching out to me, asking me for advice, and I have reminded them that the city of Florence has a hate crimes ordinance. That remains in effect, correct, during this difficult transition time?
Yes, that will remain in effect. In order to repeal that, the council will literally have to bring it up and vote to repeal it. But I'm proud to say, and I truly believe that this council will allow that to stand, because if we're going to be better together and stronger together, that means everyone. Everyone.
Is there anything that you wish you had accomplished in the 4 years that you weren't able to?
Except I have accomplished so much in these 4 years that I think that I need a rest from the accomplishments. So when I think about it, I believe that the biggest legacy, that if you go back and you look, compared to any other mayor, the accomplishment under my administration is second to none. We have brought forth the biggest economic development project there is for this whole region. And I can stand on that. And I'll say again, I was at the table for that process. So I will hang my hat on that. I believe that there are always more that can be done, but I believe everything that was intended for me to accomplish was accomplished. I do hope that eventually there is a ordinance that I brought forth for the North Florence area, which would actually East Florence, the East Florence corridor for the 76 highway, that would have extended our overlay district from Urban Street to come down Palmetto, but the council chose to send it to a committee, and that's been about 2 years, and it's not resurfaced again. So I believe that I would have loved to seen that ordinance passed so that overlay district could have been brought down Palmetto Street, which would have improved the appearance of Palmetto Street, opening them up to various grants. I wish that that would have been accomplished. There are other things that I brought forth that this council chose to send to committee, are not voted upon. So for me, I believe all the things that I could accomplish through partnerships has been attained. I believe that the ability to work with other organizations, strong partnerships, has created an environment where all of our government and our schools, even our higher education institutions, are now willing to work together. So for me, I believe I created the environment of knowing that others have the ability to work together without feeling any backlash. And so for me, creating that climate for us to be able to work together and to move forward together and be stronger together is a major accomplishment. And I think that when you go back and you look at all of Florence, not only when we came, I would say our renaissance period from 2010 to 2020 when I was elected, when our citizens sit down, and even the media, when you look around, because we move at such a fast pace, you will see the accomplishment that was been accomplished in these last 4 years. So for me, being able to create that environment for us to do this is a part of the legacy that I'm thankful for. And you also see some art things that will be occurring. I'm proud of the fact that on Court Street, we have been working with the steel industry, and they will be placing a fountain out there in the shape of South Carolina, which will have a palm tree in the center. There will be a light there to indicate where Florence, South Carolina is. And I'm grateful to be a part of that. And even after I leave from being mayor, because it is a public sculpture, I have been asked about the lead, Mr. Van Farley, to continue to work to be able to make sure that project comes together and that we can celebrate it as a public. So know that even though I'm not going to have that title of acting mayor, I will still be a community activist and leader. So I will still be working just as I was before coming into public office. As I said, I'm a servant leader. I don't need a title to allow me to do the things I'm called to do.
What are your wishes for the city moving forward? What do you hope it can achieve even if you are not the active mayor?
Well, I've stated in there some things when it comes to the various ordinances that I would like to see that we continue to enforce. But for me as a citizen, I want to see our city continue to operate in transparency. I believe that's very important. I want our city to be inclusive, to be sure that we deliberately work together to make sure everyone has opportunities to access the things that we're doing. I want to be sure that our leadership make sure the doors are open for everyone, not just a select circle of family or friends. I want all citizens to have opportunity. And for me, when we take care of our people, we take care of our city. And when we do that, it allows us to flourish and to grow and get the things accomplished we need to do. We've got to focus on our citizens and our people, and we will grow from there. And if that concludes all questions, I thank you. And to our citizens, I'm here. As long as God gives me life, I will serve and be of service to you, but I also will be a leader. But today I'm going to go and be a sister, a family member, a wife, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be, and I am, a professional grandmother. So I thank you for the years that you allowed me to serve you, and I hope and pray that as a city we continue to come together to support each other, to know that every citizen is important, and that every citizen we have has that potential to give. And I say that is why I will close with so much potential, moving Florence forward, stronger together, better together. So if you can't remember anything else about me, remember those 4 statements, because I do believe in that. Thank you.